Hello and welcome to this segment of the Not So Mellow Mushrooms. This is Mel, and today we're discussing the hot topic of the Chile-Cold War, the risks and benefits of nuclear energy, and more. Now up is Dakota with Environment. Dakota, take it away.
How you doing, dudes? It's Dakota, but my friends call me Dako. Nuclear energy is both gnarly and ungnarly. By this I mean that the fossil fuels are immensely affecting the Earth and its vibe. We are in need of a new rad way of energy, and many renowned scientists believe that nuclear energy is the solution to the pollution. I guess you could call it radiation. Boom. Let me break it down for you. The fossil fuels create greenhouse gases which get stuck in the atmosphere and causes the Earth to heat up. This melts the icebergs and causes ocean levels to rise and rapid change in ocean ecosystems. Also, 1 pound of uranium is equal to 33 million pounds of coal, which you gotta admit is pretty dubious. However, nuclear waste is pretty scary, man. There's no way for it to be reused, and it has to be contained in a safe area, or else radioactivity can spread and cause diseases such as childhood thyroid cancer and acute radiation syndrome. Extended and continuous exposure to radiation can result in cancer, benign tumors, cataracts, and even the possibility of harmful genetic changes. There may be some risk of cancer after low-level exposure to radiation, but there is debate over this topic because of the difficulty of determining what exactly caused a subject's cancer. There is, however, sound evidence that risk of cancer increases with dose. When you're at the center of a nuclear bomb, cancer isn't much of an issue. After the bomb in Hiroshima, the only remains of victims they could find within a half-mile radius of where the bomb dropped were shadows burnt into stone. That's because the center of nuclear bombs get up to several million degrees Celsius. The heat flash vaporizes any living thing within its reach. It sounds painful, but this all happens instantaneously. Anyone in underground shelters who survived would die of asphyxia due to massive fires caused by the bomb literally sucking up all the oxygen available. Rising heat causes air to be drawn at or near ground level, which results in deadly hurricane-like winds, which help defeat the fire. This mix of wind and fire can be found historically in many heavily bombed cities, like Hamburg, without necessarily needing any nuclear bomb. The farther from the bomb, the higher the chance of survival. People who survived but were still exposed to the bomb may be fatally burned, blinded, bleeding, and/or suffering from major internal injuries. There's currently no international plan on how to aid victims of atomic bombing. The effects of short-term exposure to radiation caused by bombs varies due to whether the bomb exploded in the air or upon impact, and the area affected depends on wind speeds and the direction which the wind is blowing. Very fine radiation particles may combine with water vapor, which would result in radioactive rain. The effects of high-level exposure, even if only short-term, are hair loss, bleeding from the mouth and gums, internal bleeding, hemorrhagic diarrhea, gangrenous ulcers, vomiting, fevers, delirium, and finally terminal comas. Victims of highly concentrated radiation will die in a few days after they are exposed. The effects of lower-level short-term exposure are much less extreme. While mortality rates are still high, there are survivors. Pregnant women are more likely to miscarry, and for their child or children to have multiple birth defects. Healing is slow for all survivors and leaves major scarring, and damage to the immune system is a probability. Nuclear energy has many good environmental impacts, such as being a clean source of energy, and bad environmental impacts such as the exposed harmful radiation. You decide which outweighs the other. On that note, let's boogie on over to my main woman, Jenny, talking about the medicino. Stay groovy!
Hello everyone, I'm Jenny Lawson, and today I'm here to speak to you about the risks and benefits of nuclear medicine. Nuclear technology is used for all kinds of things in medicine. It can be used to not only detect some diseases, but also help to fix them. It can help to detect an image of a patient's insides, which can be used to find blood clots or other blockages, among other things. However, it does run the risk of overexposure to radiation, which, as you heard from Dako, is not good. When you go to the doctor and get an x-ray, you're getting a small amount of radiation. This is not dangerous to you because your body is able to take in some radiation. Doctors have quotas that limit how much exposure to radiation you get a year. Though radiation is used in other parts of medicine, it can be used to help stop the spread of tumors in your body, preventing cancer. Radiation is used to kill cancer cells by getting radiant sources close to the cancerous cells. The radiation then damages the DNA of the cells, causing the cell to either die or not be able to split anymore. The downside to this is that regular cells can be affected by this as well. Doctors have studied the susceptibility to radiation penetration in different tissues of the body, which affects where they focus the radiation therapy. The images that are produced using radiation are accurate and help doctors to know how to treat a patient before going into surgery. Nuclear medicine is a developing science that could prove to be very important in the long run in the medical career. And now to Duke the Nuke with sports.
there. Welcome to sports. It's Duke coming at you live. Today we are here discussing the USSR and American competitions that have been totally hyped. It all started when America, the Soviet Union, and Britain won the track race against rival teams Germany and Japan. Who would have thought that America and the Soviet Union would have turned on each other? I would have. America says it's because of the USSR's rules of the game. They believe in a we all win, we all lose kind of approach, known as communism, while the USSR says it's because of America's approach to the game, where we believe in a we may not all win at first, but it makes everyone improve. This is known as capitalism. The Iron Curtain is what Britain's team captain Winston Churchill called the separation of the two rivals when giving his pre-game pep talk. Harry Truman also suggested that Team America should send some of their players and supplies to other struggling teams, known as the Marshall Act, in order to prevent the spread of communistic gameplay. Now, let's see a short clip of the boxing match from all of last week. They seem to size each other up, strike forward, then thinking more about it, jump back. It is almost like they do not wish to start another round because they both know about the secret weapons, known to us as the fatal nuke punch. This is called mutually assured destruction. Because of the true extent of these destructive powers, we haven't had a totally huge fight because everyone was freaked out, and no one wants a zombie apocalypse. This seems extremely terrible to most watchers of this, but doesn't it mean that many more matches are likely to not happen because of the threat of a nuclear fallout? Or does it mean that peace is threatened for all rival and enemy teams? Would the spread of nuke punches eliminate the threat of dominance in the sport due to unfair advantages of being able to use the punch? Would it also stop the threat of spreading illegal nuke fights? What if it is a cause for the pursuit of good things for nuclear energy and nuclear technology and nuclear medicine? Would that then cause the risk of nuclear power to be lowered by the increase of nuclear power? Why then are we so afraid if our fear is the only thing that is a danger to us? Oh my gosh. Anyway, that was back to the match. That was just a thought I had. Impressively, other awesome things are occurring on the sidelines. The fans of America and the fans of the USSR are some of the most dedicated fans in the universe, even more than those Kentucky fans. Why, not only are they cheering on their team in this fight, they are each competing themselves. Definitely not bandwagons. They are trying to prove to their competitors that they in turn are the smartest, richest, greatest group of people in the world. We will see how that will turn out for each of them. Who knows who will fall first, and if it might end this standoff. The USSR's fans
nuclear reactors have many amazing,
meanwhile, in
never seen
America,
before
they said a
benefits,
very dedicated
but
pair of fans
unfortunately
to
they
believe
also
in
have
that.
downsides, such
The
as
cardiac
Fukushima,
the first
and the
electric
side of the
computer,
Chernobyl
the
nuclear
teleprompter,
disaster.
the barcode, the first
Here we are
website,
today at the site of the
technology
Chernobyl
approved
nuclear
for
disaster,
format,
probably the worst
even
of
the
these
first
catastrophes.
would never have been
Ladies and
developed,
gentlemen,
save for the race
this is the event that led the world to realize the imperative safety concern
here
and
are
need for
highs and
better
lows
emergency
of the
procedures.
Will the
This is
spread
the
of
event that
nuclear
sparked global concern on the topic of nuclear safety. More than 5% of the radiation in the exploding reactors managed to escape into the atmosphere and downwind, causing a spike in diagnosed childhood thyroid cancer.
Take it away, man!
ALS in the evacuation and relocation of entire cities and a wide span of land, and then what was the Soviet Union but is now several countries. So, what happened, you might ask? The chain of events that caused the disaster began with a bad-designed IBM K1000 and insufficiently trained workers. This reactor was designed by the Soviet Union and worked by using slightly augmented uranium dioxide fuel in a boiling light water reactor. This means that there are two loops carrying the steam from the heated water and the pressure tubes as it rose without a heat exchanger directly from where it was pumped into the fuel channels from the nearby river Pripyat to the turbines. On April 25, 1986, however, right before a routine shutdown, the workers of the reactor began concocting a test to determine for what duration of time the turbines would continue spinning and supplying power to nearby pumps in the case of a power loss. The test had already been done in 1985, but with unimpressive results, and so the voltage adapter now had to be tested. Earlier that day, the reactor operator had made a series of actions, one including disabling the automatic shutdown mechanism. By the time they tried to shut it down, a flaw in the design of the control rods caused a power surge as they were inserted into the then very unstable reactors. Next, the scalding fuel paired with the cooling water led to fragmentation and accelerated steam yield, and thus dramatically increasing the pressure. This enormous pressure caused the cover plate to partially detach, jamming the control rods only halfway down and rupturing the fuel channels. In turn, a line for a multitude of ever-produced steam from the broken cooling system to crowd the core. This caused a steam explosion, which led to fires and the ejection of fission products into the atmosphere, causing another explosion in the second reactor only seconds later. Though the cause of this explosion is still disputed for exact reasoning, but for certain is a result of the first. However, these situations do not always have to end in tragedy as seen on 3 Mile Island, which was successfully evacuated as a precaution when hit by a severe earthquake, though all nuclear reactors shut down successfully. Also, safety procedures have increased tremendously since the explosion in Chernobyl. Workers are now trained accordingly in emergency simulations so that they are prepared for malfunctions and can therefore react and prevent major unforeseen disasters. Furthermore, they are certainly not all bad. There are also many benefits. Some of these benefits include minimal pollution released when nuclear fission occurs to create nuclear energy. Though the small amount released is dangerous and must be safely disposed of. Yet another benefit is that, though they are expensive to build, they are relatively cheap to run, and the production as well as the cost of the energy produced are affordable and stable. The cost is about the same as if the energy had come from a coal power plant, which has been proven to have much more harmful effects on the environment and health. If run correctly, nuclear power plants are significantly less toxic and are safer than other power plants, while releasing up to 100 times less radiation than coal plants do due to the burning of fossil fuels. And now to Tiffany at our nation's capital to explain how this compelling technology works.
Anyway,
Tiffany?
back to fission. Fission releases in thermal energy, which is used to boil water and produce steam, which is carried directly through the pipes to where it turns a turbine and to drive the generator and generate electricity. But don't worry about the steam polluting, as it recycles back to water into the condenser that is reused in the reactor. The pressurized water reactor is the same in that it uses the fission process to heat water, but different in that it keeps it from boiling and instead pumps the hot water into a steam generator, which heats another pot of water, which is then used to turn a turbine. The water exposed to the radiation is recycled by the condenser into the water to be reused, like in the boiling water reactor. And that's how nuclear power plants work, folks. Back to Mel.
Thank you, Mel. As you can see, I'm up here in Chicago to inform you about the history of today's segment on nuclear energy from the Not-So-Mellow Mushroom TV broadcasting channel, with a stunning number of influential, well-respected scientists urging the U.S. to arm themselves with this new power that held the potential to help both our people and our environment. The Manhattan Project was launched in 1942. Germany had already begun exploration of nuclear elements in search of the ultimate weapon. The Manhattan Project was spread out among different work sites, so everyone was only making a small part, so as to keep a level of extremely high secrecy, and ensure that nobody knew quite what was going on. The first place to have a major breakthrough was a radiation lab in Berkeley, California. Their
Thank you
knowledge,
so
both
much,
theoretical
Tiffany,
and
for that
practical,
amazing
were vital to the
explanation.
electromagnetic
And
separation
now to
process.
Greg
Today,
in
we are here
Chicago,
at the Madeline
Illinois,
Curl
USA,
Laboratory,
the Windy
based at the
City.
University of Chicago.
For a
This was the first place they were able to generate a chain reaction, and the first time they produced plutonium, under the supervision of Enrico Fermi. Another major place was the site in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where 3 nuclear power plants made key elements for the atom bomb. Back to you, Mel.